listen up. All right, the Washington hearings, Dr. Greer.
Yep.
What a past few days, and we're in D.C.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the day after, right?
It was what we thought it would be, a nothing burger.
Guys, Dr. Steven Greer is here, and this was the day after the November 13th hearings that we were covering so thoroughly, right? And pretty big bombshells that happened. We covered every single part of it. Just to update it, subscribe, notifications on, share this video with anyone you know, like, comment. It all helps out a lot. Okay, so Steven Greer is coming out, and he's shooting shots. He's not giving a fuck. This is pretty crazy. Okay, there's some pretty big drama with the ufology community, so I'm gonna be covering all of it. So enjoy the video, sit back, relax, enjoy some popcorn, and let's get into it.
Because we submitted 23 first-hand top secret guys who've actually handled the material, the craft, all that, and they didn't want to call any of them. So instead they called a professional disinformation expert, Lue Elizondo, and some second-hand people.
Yo, I've been hearing this a lot more. I've heard that the Y-Files actually believes that David Grush is a disinformation person for the CIA and intelligence, and that once you're in, you're never truly out. All this kind of talk, all this kind of stuff, psyops, etc. Let me know what you guys think. This man is shooting such big shots, okay? Do you think he will respond? Lou?
Who knew very little, and whose information, if you go to dpiarchive.com, you'll see, 120 top secret military whistleblowers and others that are there for anyone to see, that are 100 times more impactful than the people they had at this hearing. So it begs the question of whether anyone in Congress is actually serious about disclosure and investigation. And because it isn't as if they haven't been provided personally. I mean, personally handing off this material, people who are of no consequence at all. And I always say this is why the Congress has a 12% approval rating. One less than a third or a quarter of the current president, the outgoing president.
So, we spoke with Tim Burchett a few day before the hearings. We asked him, and we told him straight up, why are you not bringing these first-hand witnesses? He's told us that, well, he's not in charge, and he says Congress is afraid of him. Are they actually shadow banning each other in Congress, and who has authority on this subject, and they're denying a Congressman Tim Burchett to bring first-hand witnesses forward?
Yes, because I've spoken with him, and he's not senior on House Oversight or other committees. I think he's the third-term congressman. And the folks who do have seniority, some of them have been corrupted by these interests that want to keep this.
I think he's talking about the few politicians and members in Congress who are backed by the military-industrial complex, the never-ending circle. So, I think that's what he's referring to.
Secret, and they keep shooting down things like a select committee or subpoenas or what have you. So it isn't Mr. Burchett's fault, but this is where the public needs to start calling out these bad actors who have, for example, a year ago blocked the amnesty provisions that came out of the Senate to protect the whistleblowers that are high value. And that got shot down in the House by people who are carrying.
So truly a lot of people have shunned and dismissed Steven Greer. A lot of comments like he's totally flown off the handles, he's not okay anymore, he, profit driven, etc. Which I agree to an extent. I don't know, 100% though, but the one thing I dislike is he has this app that supposedly communicates with this phenomenon, and it's like meditation techniques, etc., and he charges for that. So he's profit driven. Not that you shouldn't be, but I don't know, something supposedly so crucial you put behind a paywall. It's kind of weird, right? Something that's supposed to unite people, all that kind of hippie stuff, right?
Water for these corrupt enterprises. And actually, those people's names have been handed over to a law enforcement special access project by me, and said at some point they need to be interrogated. And they're then blocking the work of very good people in the Senate and in other sectors of the House, such as the, Congressman Burchett would like to do, and others, not just him. There are a lot of people in the House who want to see this happen. And, in the Senate, you have people like Marco Rubio and Rounds and Gillibrand and others who have been trying to get to the bottom of this. And they keep not being able to move things forward because you can't just pass a bill out of the Senate. It has to go through reconciliation between the House and Senate. And then there are these people who kill it. That's what happened last year. Now, whether that changes is anyone's guess. We don't know what will happen with the incoming president. As you know, I've dealt with every administration since Bill Clinton in 93. So I take a very hopeful but kind of wait-and-see view of that. And we'll see. We're certainly going to provide everything the incoming president needs to know. And but what I'm warning here of is that I think there are a group of people I'm working with who are inside these black sites and in these underground bases that are going to move forward and defect with all the goods and all the evidence before the incoming president can act. And certainly the House has had ample opportunity, and the Senate, to do a proper investigation, and they have not done so. So that begs the question, what's the next outlet? It's asymmetric disclosure, I'm calling it, where it comes out of another direction, asymmetrically from, say, the main branches of government. And I think that's, at this point, that's the likely outcome.
Why is that the likely outcome? Okay, Steven Greer can talk to these aliens and do intentions and stuff and make them arise, supposedly through this CE5 technique. I know Chris Bledsoe, he's also like a really remote viewing, like meditation person that can summon these things. He has a lot of videos on his Instagram page. Check that out if you want. He wrote the book UFO of God. Some really interesting stuff that seems to be spoken about. Do you guys find Steven Greer credible? What do you think about him? What do you think about this video and his message to Lue?
Yeah, it's the people that's going to bring disclosure. Dr. Steven Greer.
Yep. Thank you.
It's a big day being with you. And, again, maybe the next hearings will get you and your first-hand eyewitnesses and actually give some real disclosure versus some of the rhetoric that we've been hearing for the past few days.
Well, like I said, I've been dealing with members of Congress and in Senate since 1994 and 95. So, like I said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep.
And I've been providing, as a senior advisor to people in the Senate and House in the last 3 years, everything they're asking for. And yet then they drop the ball like they did this past week. So
I would really like to see someone take this clip to all these people, Lue, to Congress people, and asking them their thoughts on the video, whether this is true or not, and really once and for all either discredit this man in its entirety or give him some credibility in the whole situation, okay? Because this needs to be figured out, because if it's not, then we just have to consider way too many things that are out there and not provable, right? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Now we're looking at a new president. Who knows what he'll do? He was in office before and never got to the bottom of this, and I don't even think really made a serious inquiry. I think now he might, because there are people in his inner circle that have reached out to me. I mean, his close inner circle. And we'll see. I mean, I'm very nonpartisan. I don't care the political party and political philosophy. We have these technologies, right?
Yeah.
And that's
it'll be a new world.
People don't understand. That's been one of the chief reasons for the secrecy since the 50s. You don't know that at the very top, that whole project is being run illegally.
These are brand new witnesses, and they've got bombshell information to talk about.
These technologies are unsanctioned. They are illegal operations, and this can be proven in any court of law.
It's like, wow, nobody's coming after us. We're gonna do this until we can get away with it.
They would have so much control over everything if they had that.
If this information was all released, it could fall into the wrong hands.
They're using security as a cover for illicit or illegal or even treasonous activities.
The members of Congress didn't have the detailed information of the precise location.
Where they keep the bodies, the craft, the debris, all the evidence that we've been searching for the last 80 years.
He knew how to keep a secret. Secrets were his stock and trade.
They're literally making their own money to fund their own projects.
We have a source currently in the deep black world.
It doesn't matter if you're president of the United States, you're not going to talk about that.
There was this large monolithic slab, looked like it was elevated off of the ground.
It is traumatic.
Look, this is the most top secret shit you've ever heard of.